When you light up now by being who you are, when you light up now by being who you are, you light all pathways to now. So the moment you're sitting in you, unperturbed by all that's going on, because when you're sitting in you, a lot of greatness, but also a lot of garbage, 50-50 is going on. And our inclination through our evolution is to see the garbage, as we said before. So you're seeing a tremendous amount of garbage that is challenging your right, your authority to be in that awareness. And it's challenging you through fear, it's challenging you through doubt, it's challenging you through jealousy, it's challenging you through insecurity, it's challenging you through every negating emotion that your three-dimensional physical body can muster up. And you withstand the storm. And the storm dies down. Not because the storm has died down, but because your relationship with that which is around you has stopped creating the resistance. Because that was the storm in the first place. The moment you stop resisting, you are everything. And that's how the light lights all paths. And in that moment, you are the change that you want to experience in the world. And you're lighting everyone's path. You're lighting all the ridiculous goings on in the world. You're lighting the path. Now, they may not take advantage of that light for the illusion of 5,000 years, 15,000 lifetimes. Because maybe they're that far shifted in their evolutionary process. But the moment we get enough people on this planet, right now there's not hardly, I wouldn't say there's anyone right now that's actually standing in now. The moment we get enough people, we got about 35 years to get there. The moment we get enough people standing in now, wow, the shift will be phenomenal. They'll throw a war and no one will show up. Just that. There'll be abuse and no one will be available to be abused. The entire nature of nature will change. I mean, you ask my grandfather. He's been passed for some time waiting for my enlightenment, because you get to enlighten 7 generations. So he says, I'll hang. I'm good. But he was born in, my grandfather was born in like 1878. And when they started flying, he told my mom, who was born in 1904, he told my mom when they started flying, which was, like around 1910, 12, something, I know the Wright brothers were 1907 or 08 or something like that. But when they started flying, he's commercial, like throw people in planes, like flying people from place to place. He says, I'll do it, but I'll keep 1 foot on the ground. Can you imagine the changes that took place in my mom's life? I remember calling, and we had somebody that would take care, because she lived with us for the last 6 years of her life. She lived to be 99, and remember when cell phones were like, they made them smaller and smaller and smaller, and that was the big deal before iPhone said, let's get bigger and bigger and bigger, until You know, now holding these things like this up to our ears. But we're in a car, and I've called home. I've called the caregiver, and the caregiver is out with her in a car. And I'm talking to the caregiver, and I says, let me talk to Mom. And she hands her the phone, and it's this little thing, little tiny thing. And I can hear my mom looking at it, saying, what do I do with this? I can hear her voice. And I can hear the caregiver going, Titi, it's a phone. Put it to your ear. And she says, but I can't talk into it because it doesn't reach my mouth. Can you imagine the physical three-dimensional changes that took places in people's lives? My mom remembers riding the horse and buggy. And then there were cars. Then there were planes. Then there were radios. Then there were televisions. Then there were this. Then there were that. Then there was peace on earth. In our lifetime. 35 years from now, that's our job. Our job is to come to now and light all the pathways to now. But to get to now, we have to go through hell. And we can't get distracted by all that's going on around us because, believe you me, it would love to distract us. I'm not trying to animate it and put a whole persona on it, but that's the nature of nature. If you can fall in a hole, you will. How many times have you said to yourself, I'm going to go through this and I'm not going to get emotional, and then in the midst of your emotion you go, So we're going to be experiencing a future that we've never imagined. But those of us sitting in this room and those of us sitting in similar rooms around the world, we're the ones that are going to be the change. So tonight we're going to do some things that are very clearly, you'll experience them rather quickly, because that's the reason Yogi Bhajan, who is a master of many forms of yoga, decided that the best form to work in this time and space was Kundalini. We're actually coming up to October 6th, which will be 10 years since he left his physical form. It'll be really nice. Because the bottom line is that physical form, schmystical form. It's just this trap that we have to sit in. But we can make that contact with everything that ever was, because, right, this room still exists. Does your car still exist? Yeah. When you got out of it, did your car die? You hope not. That's a three-dimensional answer. Okay, take hold of your knees. Let's do our work. Long and deeply breathing.